And so another Sunday, my dear ones, and closer to a new month and a new opportunity to look at ourselves and say, well, who do I want to be in the next coming month? Where do I want to be in the next month? What do I want to have going on in the next month? In life by means of me. Because I can only know something for myself. I can't know it for anybody else. I can support what each individual knows about themselves. But can you imagine? Have you ever thought of the idea that none of us in this room or listening in has even touched below the surface of the true essence of our being? Touched that great, great, amazing storehouse of, well, universal grace, universal opportunity to create any good thing that we so desire. Very early this morning, my attention was drawn to there was some news program or something. Can't remember which one it was. But something said, listen, I just left my room to get some water, and I listened, and it was that beautiful 7-year-old in the Ukraine that had been shown earlier on in the week singing Let It Go in her own language. And she had a voice so pure, so clear. It was astounding. Well, this morning it just so happened, as I looked, the same little one was on the television again. And this time, they had managed to escape with great difficulty into Poland. And she was in a huge concert hall of people, all holding lights. And she was singing the national anthem of her country. And I can tell you, it was such a moving experience. Everyone in the audience moved. Of course, by the time she was finished, the tears were pouring down my eyes. That happens a lot these days when they show me things like that, and I happen to catch them. And I thought, we're okay. The children have it. We're okay. We'll get through this. There are great, good, and brave things happening in this world because of the upheaval, as a result of the upheaval. I saw a doctor in an underground bomb shelter, children's doctor, doing the very best she could do to take care of those children. And when asked if she was afraid, she said, I really don't have much time to think of being afraid. But maybe sometimes I do get a little nervous. And the stories go on and on and on. And when these people I talk to, they say, no, I'm just an ordinary person like anybody else. So you do not know the depth of yourself until you're put in a situation that calls it up. And I can remember, I was in the Tower of London when the IRA blew it up. Smoke going everywhere. And my first thought went to, oh, that young teacher with those first graders. I wonder where they are and what's going on. So I went through the smoke looking for them. When I got to them, the teacher was crying and shivering and shaking. And the little ones were going, "Come, miss, are we going to be on the telly?" I learned an important lesson that day. All they wanted to know was would they get to see themselves on the television, in the news. But those kinds of experiences are sobering. And again, I remember when we were on our tour of China, crazy bus drivers there, I can tell you. You think they're bad in Rome. Anyway, the bus began to smoke, and he pulled over, and I was sitting at the back, and he pulled over to the side of the road. And so everybody was quaking and shaking, including the 2 ex-Marines, the retired Marines, but they were up front, they were okay. So anyway, I had to kind of shove people out of the seats that they were stuck to. It's okay, it's just a little smoke, it'll be out in no time at all, and it'll be okay. Nothing's going to happen. Just quietly get up, row by row, and exit the bus. You'd think now I was asking them to climb, a mile mountain high. But it gives you an opportunity to see how people respond in situations like that, because you kind of get paralyzed. Anyway, everybody got out of the bus, and the crazy little driver went down with some kind of a thing and sprayed it. And we waited at the peril of our lives, the side of the freeway, waiting for another bus to come and pick us up. And so everybody was kind of talking about the experience and shaking and so on. And I'm thinking to myself, Moira, there's something wrong with you. You should get afraid in situations like this. And so the 2 Marines came up and they said, well, ma'am, congratulations, you handled that situation mightily. And I could go on and on with those kinds of experiences. And I'm not somebody that's without fear. I'm telling you this because in the situation, something other takes over when you're in charge, especially. Something other takes over, and it's not you at all because you'd be shaking and quaking and running for the nearest exit or whatever. And I've learned in little ways like that to trust the creative process and to trust the presence. I think that happens mostly for us when we are prayed up, and by that I mean when we're in conscious connection with our source regularly. I'm not talking about saying prayers, not at all. Sometimes those prayers are like blah, 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 Fido, blah, 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 Fido, blah, 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 Fido. And sometimes they're not. We're very attentive to them. But they comfort us. They comfort us. And they're what we know from the time we were knee-high to a grasshopper. So to go boldly through life is quite the challenge. I mean, we have to ask ourselves, do I think of myself as somebody who can go boldly anywhere? And you will never know how brave you are or how not so brave you are until you're in a situation. You can think you might know what you do. You can think that. But you never know until you're in it. To go bravely. I'm going to remind us of some fundamentals that we may forget all the time. One of them is a mental equivalent. You're living your life from whatever mental equivalent you have of life for you. An idea, a picture, whatever. And if that's what you have constantly, that's what you live. That's what you live. And it doesn't matter what your mental equivalent has been in the past. And it doesn't matter how many times you found yourself, with your back up against the wall and saying to yourself, how did I get myself into this mess this time? You can get out of it with the correction of your mental equivalent. Let me remind you, and I don't want to misquote Ernest, but let me remind you of what he says in the Beverly Hills Lectures by Ernest Holmes. It is done unto you as you believe. You hear that all the time. You say it to yourself and to other people. It is done unto you as you believe. But none of us believe that enough, or deeply enough, or regularly enough, or constantly enough. Because if we believed that, we would not dare believe some of the things we believe. We would not go there. And yet we hear it and we rattle it off ourselves. It's done unto you as you believe. Only believe, all things are possible, only believe, we used to sing. So is there a little bit of work that all of us have to do on what we believe? Do we need to get in there and tinker with that and fix it with regard to what we believe? Mother of goodness, just listen into the conversations we have with each other and hear what we believe about each other. We don't even know those people hardly that we believe so much about. Oh, goodness me, if we only knew what we were doing to ourselves, we wouldn't dare do that. The only one you have to worry about is yourself. Be concerned about yourself and what you believe. And none of us can look at somebody else and say, well, he, she is absolutely blah, blah, blah. No, we can't. Byron Katie says, when you start to do that, ask yourself, is this the truth? Do I believe this is the truth? And then the last question, do I absolutely believe this is the absolute truth? Who can say yes to that? We hardly know the answer to that when we're talking about ourselves. The mental equivalent. Very important for you and for me right now in this time, in this age, with all that's going on, to have a very strong, powerful, potent, clear mental equivalent with regard to what's going on in the world. Don't see it as it is or as you think it is. See it as you know it can be and as you would like it to be. Set that mental equivalent and keep supporting it no matter what. And then little things will happen like a 7-year-old child singing that says, we're okay. We're okay. The children know we're okay. They will build a stronger, better, more awesome world than we ever have. And then let's work with all our might to support the little ones into a better life, a good life. A troubled-free life, in the sense of fear-free life. We can do that. We're called to do it. That's why we're here. We've all signed up. We're in a different kind of army. An army is not the word for it, but we all signed up for the community of the divine, to be the peacemakers, to be the wisdom bearers, to show that nothing is as it appears to be, not even yourself. So stop making absolute statements about anything. If you need to make absolute statements, the only person you can make those about is yourself, and even that's off. We haven't got a clue with regard to the power that we have. The power we carry within us, right at the center core of our being. There is this gemstone pulsing away. It's the stone of power, it's the stone of truth, it's the stone of all that is good and whole and wholesome, and it's in you, it's in you, it's in you. Don't leave this world without using it fully, discovering it and using it fully. Put your hand on your heart, and then you make your statement of truth, and you just declare your mental equivalent for what you want your life to be and all life to be. Knowing the power is not yours. No, this power is not my own. It is the power of the one who created me and placed it in me. That's what Jesus would say. Don't call me good master. None is good but God alone. He said, I of myself do nothing. It is the power and the presence of the Father within me that doeth the work. So that ensures that you and I won't get too big for our boots, as my mother used to say. Keeps us humble. We're just the guardian of something. We are the guardians of a precious gift that lives within us. And it's up to us as to whether or not we're going to use it for the good or ignore it and go astray. You know, that's the story of the talents, the 5 talents, the 3 talents, the 1 talent. In the scriptures, Jesus loved to tell stories. Parables they were the way people were taught in those days because people couldn't read. And so the master gave to each of these lads talents. He said, now go away now and multiply those talents. And when I come back, I'll expect to see a good return. So the first 2 went off and they invested or did what they did, and they increased those at least by double. The third fellow said, oh my God, what am I going to do? What will I do if I invest this thing and I lose it? The master is going to be very, 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 he's going to be very, 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 very upset with me. So he buried it. And of course, the master was very upset with him indeed, because he didn't use his talent. So it was taken away from him and he was cast out. If you don't use it, what? You lose it. Now you and I have myriads of talents that we haven't even begun to remember. So for all of us who are sitting in this room today, or standing in the room today, or whatever in the room today, and looking in, go to your talents and take a look at them and beware. Make sure you're going to make an investment in yourself and use those talents. Stop sitting on them, because to those who have been given, much is expected. So take those beautiful talents of yours. Everybody can be loving, everybody can be kind. Everybody can make a difference in the world, can give a helping hand. Everybody can assist life in some way, without exception. And remember, as the great Mother General in the nun story said, life is an infinity of small things. And it's true. Little things do mean a lot, and they add up to one great, big, wonderful, amazing energy. So pull your socks up today, everybody, and stop thinking of yourself as less than in whatever way you think yourself is less than. You're not less than. And start to think about yourself as the moreness that you are. Get in touch with the moreness within you and endeavor to release it. And let it be a healing balm on this plane, because God knows we could do with as much healing balm as we can get. You have the power because you've been empowered since your incipiency. And then when we are empowered, we're told, now go and empower. You have been empowered, go and empower. You have been given to, go and give. Whatever you think you can do, you can do. But you have to know it. You have to own it. You have to get into it on the inside of it. You have to cover yourself up in it. And then that's going to happen. There's flashing the lights at me, so I have to stop. And I've only reached the first point in what I was going to share. But that's okay. There's more time, isn't there, I hope? And I'll just leave you with this one thing. I'll leave you with this one thing, so listen to it very carefully. This is your thought for the week, and this is your week work. If you want to soar, and I think you do want to soar, do you want to soar? Yes. Well, if you want to soar, let go of all the weighty things that hold you down. Let go of the weight that holds you down. Persons, places, things, thoughts, whatever. If you want to soar and you're not soaring, something is weighing you down. Discover what it is and let it go. And that's our homework for the week. In other words, lighten up. Declutter. Lighten up. But where do you begin with that? With your mind. You'll find it very easy to declutter outside things if you declutter your mind. Lighten up. All right? Say with me right now, I'm ready. To be all that I can be. To be all that I came here to be. To accomplish what I'm here to accomplish. So that when I leave this plane, I can just and say, it is done. I have accomplished it. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm glad to be out of here. And on to the next new big project, which will be in advance. And that's the truth of you, and it's the truth of me, and it's the truth of all of you looking in. And now, my dear ones, we're going to release ourselves, not of anything that's weighing us down, but we're going to share a little of our good so that others may enjoy a little more good than they have at the moment. So let's take our gift and hold our gift between our blessing hands and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all who give and all who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. Thank you. And now, Reverend Catherine has something to share with us. That's always good news.
This is the part in our service where we acknowledge our mission statement, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the life of all we serve. And this is a message that came through. Recently, a number of things happened to me and around me that really concerned me and upset me. Then I realized that I don't like to feel like that. I wrote out some affirmations that I found, and they seemed right, and I used them for several days. What happened was something unexpected that was absolutely wonderful, so wonderful, I'm still glowing about it. I love this teaching.
It's always good to hear that kind of good news. And we had yesterday a beautiful service, over 200 people at it, for a young woman. Well, 57 is very young these days. And it was really very touching to hear and see so many people with so many wonderful things to say about that lady, Mary Lou. And we know that she's soaring now into her new experience. But it reminds us every time that we're at a memorial service, you know, that one day people will be in a room celebrating our memorial service. And so, make every day the day. I wish we could all live every day as though it were our last day. I can assure you we would be mindful. And let's be grateful for every new day that comes our way and see it as the rich blessing that it is, and endeavor to make a difference in someone's life in that day and to do the best that we can do. Because that's all we're asked to do, the best that we can do. And some days we'll do more than others. And when you're in that off day where you don't feel like doing much of anything, be okay with it. Give yourself the opportunity to be okay with it. And thank you all very, 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 very much for staying steady and staying solid, and even when you don't feel like it, showing up to be part of a community that wants to make a difference in the world. Wants to make a difference in the world. And let me tell you, you do. You make a wonderful difference in the world, and you don't even know most of the ways in which you do that, because most of our work is done quietly. But it's good work, and it's making difference in people's lives, and it's changing things for the better. So thank you all for that. Thank you all for looking in. And thank you all, those of you who are looking in and leaving your comments and so on. It's a wonderful thing, even when all of us and our viewers take the time to make a note on the various and sundry social media that you have an opportunity to make, because you don't really realize how much good that does. It assures other people that there are places where things for the best can happen. It assures other people that they may receive support and solace here. It assures other people. So take a little minute now and then to write your comments and to be in that position of being able to assure other people who are hesitant right now and looking for a place to be where they might find comfort and ease. I appreciate every one of you are doing it already, but we could do it much more. We could do it much more. So know this day that you have a renowned and special place in this world with a very, very singular purpose that you came in to realize. Never underestimate yourself, and never, ever compare yourself to anybody else, because you'll only get disappointed, because you never compare yourself with those whom you think are less than you are, or less well off than you are. It's always with the ones you think are better off than you are. Stop it. The only one you need to compare yourself with is yourself. Did I do as well today as I did yesterday, or whatever? And don't worry about other people. They've got enough worries of their own. And if you just stay focused on your trajectory, you'll find your life will lighten and brighten and improve, as will your health, as will everything else about you, because you're taking care of the store. And when you take care of the store stays open and you can serve. Yes? Okay. Well, we're going to have our prayer now, and this prayer is, of course, for the people of Ukraine and people everywhere who are being, I can hardly find a word for it, who are being not allowed to be themselves. So let's pray, brethren. And believe that you make a difference when you pray. I know divine love enfolds me. Divine light leads me. Divine life leads to me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life, there's only God, there's only God, there's only God. And more importantly, there's only God by means of you. You're the only God some people will ever meet. Your love, your kindness, your sweetness, your help. So go out into the world knowing that you're glad to be here and you're happy to do what you came here to do, and know that you're going to be supported every step of the way. Now we're going to have our peace song.